Rated T for teen.
My career has been a fight, a long, brutal, but necessary fight. I was told no more times than I can count, and every single time I proved them wrong. WWE 2K26, available now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to What Do You Want to Talk About? This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and this is a Fanatics and WWE original production. Very special day. We are on the grounds, the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and I have a great guest. I have one of my five, as I actually said in this very room, somebody that I feel confident, I don't know if he feels the same, in calling him my actual friend, somebody who recently returned to WWE, somebody who also went away from WWE and set the path ablaze, took whatever blueprint there was, created an entirely new blueprint. I am, of course, talking about Long Island IC, but not just that. The Deathmatch King, the very complete, and recently returned to WWE. I mean, he's a former everything champion. He'll tell you all about that himself. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to present to you Matt Cardona.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Thank you, Cody. Thanks for having me. Finally, about time. I could have used the rub when I was on the Indies.
Yeah, no. I mean, I came, well, when you were on the path, when you were on the Indies, I came and did your podcast one time, correct?
Well, you did it like via satellite.
Remote. You're here in person, which is really the only way to do it.
Yeah. I've been on your podcast before, but it was you and KO burying me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We should talk about that. You have Louis Vuitton shoes on, huh?
I do, yeah.
You are incredibly well dressed.
Well, I didn't want to,
No, I mean, but this is a look here.
You have the whole thing. You have the logo on the cuff,
As you see, right?
Yeah, I see. Show the camera.
In terms of, there it is. in terms of this fit, you've followed this model basically since you left. I mean, following the journey when you were out there and seeing everything you did. Is this the new, in terms of the complete Matt Cardona?
No, I think if I'm backstage like on SmackDown, I'm not in the suit. But like you got to carry yourself like a star, right? Especially on the Indies, it's you wear a suit in the Indies. Oh my God, it's like you're the president.
That's somebody.
Yeah,
but that's helpful.
It is.
That guy or that girl has some information. They know what's going on. They're here for a reason. Oh, I bet you that's what the line is for.
Right.
You also big proponent. I recently found this out in bringing water to the locker room, correct?
No. I want there to be water.
Water needs to be there already.
I'm not saying I'm the one bringing it, but now in WWE, I mean, there's water bottles everywhere. The trainer, the locker room, catering by Gorilla. It's unbelievable.
But you were shocked to find on the indie scene, not every locker room
I just couldn't believe you can't get a case of water. Was it $4.99?
And it truthfully became part of your arrangement with independent promoters.
It was never official.
That's not real?
It was never official. I didn't need water.
Okay, well then I don't want to fall into the category of
This is the Cody. Are we starting with Cody lies?
I'm so glad you said it. There is a lot of concern on what's a Cody lie, what's myth, what's legend, what's reality, and I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable coming on the podcast.
Sure.
So I have a list of topics.
Here we go.
And I want you to just read them aloud. Yeah, let me get my glasses real quick. I want you to read them aloud.
Are those real? Do you need to be wearing those, or are they for the look?
Well, I need to look at the paper here. Read these aloud, and if you don't like any of these or don't want to talk about any of them, we don't have to. Yeah, perfect. If you just read those aloud.
Locker room checker.
Okay.
Not true.
Cody lie.
Cody lie.
Okay, understood. We won't touch that one.
Went through my gear without permission. Are we telling this story? I mean, we told the story a million times.
No, but that is not a Cody lie, correct? Just read the topics, and if any of them sticks out.
There's some context. I did go through your bag. Yes. There was permission.
Okay.
Crumbs make crumb cake. That's a famous
Your statement.
saying.
You taught me that.
I quit WWE because of you.
I quit
WWE.
you quit
because you had to lose to me. That is true. I didn't quit.
I walked out.
Yeah, you quit. I was fired. I was working my ass off. I got fired. You quit. Boo hoo. Guy never missed a WrestleMania. Boo-hoo. Okay, the shipping cost on your lightsaber. Okay, that's true. You paid for the shipping cost.
And
right?
at the time, I'm just an indie guy, right? Or was I still with
I
WWE?
think you're still with the company.
Man, but that was, I mean,
To be fair, I
stiff
thought-
me with
I
that
thought-
bill
no, I
for
thought-
your Kylo Ren lightsaber.
Do you still have it?
I have mine. Do you
I
have
have mine,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Not buying drinks even though you're rich.
So when we go out, often I've noticed the wallet doesn't come out.
Oh, that's a Cody
Okay,
lie.
all right.
Can we?
We'll file-
I'm cursing on that. Sorry.
It's quite all right.
Now
We'll-
I'm
we'll file
pissed.
that away as a Cody lie.
That's a lie.
Okay.
Run-in practice.
Did I catch you the other week at TV running on the slick black floor
Because it's very slippery.
and you didn't want to fall?
I didn't want to fall.
But-
Always ready.
But you did it in a not so subtle way. You were literally starting at Gorilla and
But you
sprinting.
can't half-ass it.
I get
You
it.
can't be half pregnant.
But this is at 4:00 in the afternoon.
well, that's what rehearsal should be.
Understood.
To rehearse.
Practice makes perfect.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh Lord, that's Brandy. That's her saying.
I know, but you also, you know what? I won't even touch that one.
Okay.
We don't have to-
It's your show, Cody. It's your show. What's on page number 2?
These are my notes. These we're very professional here. We have our notes.
You're always ready.
I'll have these. You are always
Yes.
ready.
Try.
So, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the Long Island Loudmouth. Has some Wheatley vodka, some other things.
Love
Put a
that.
little lower third, right? What are you drinking there?
This is
water?
a Wheatley American
Trying to get me
Duel.
drunk?
It's not. It's not
Let
water.
me smell it.
Get in there. Get in there. Do you want to smell
No,
it?
I trust you.
No, I got you. Cheers to you.
This is very good.
Yeah, and you're right by, I mean, the
It's like an
wellspring
iced tea,
of it.
like a Long Island iced
I would
tea.
imagine the Long Island Loudmouth is a Long Island iced tea, but with Wheatley vodka.
Long Island iced Z.
There it is.
Rest in peace, though. He's gone.
That's it, right?
Zack Ryder needed to die for Matt Cardona to live.
Very, very, wow.
Yeah, I've said it a bunch of times. Can you tell?
I actually really like it. You're by the wellspring of the good stuff too, because you're here at the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Wheatley American Vodka,
is
providing
beautiful
this,
down here.
isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good vibe here.
Yeah.
I actually a couple little touches for you here. I don't know if you see that. I can't say it out loud, but you know what that is, right?
I do. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
the Hulk ski for you as well.
Very cool.
So I
That's
noticed
that's a roller coaster, like Hulk, like roller coaster islands, like not my thing.
that's a lie. That's a lie. Once you came to HHN with me, you were
I'm not a roller coaster high. I need some theming. I don't want to like roller coaster high five, dude. That was
Yeah.
a cool coaster, bro.
What did you used to say? I don't want to see the parking lot. That was your big thing. Man, that breaks you that easily. though.
Yeah, I don't want to, the immersion.
You need the immersion because you're in a world filled with immersion. Is that it? That's my reasoning for it. If I do all this to escape, I want to escape.
Yeah, if I'm
Right?
there, I want to be there.
A new segment we do. Our friends at WWE 2K. Right now, if you could, I guess, fantasy book yourself in any dream match. You've got 400 something roster members. You've got men can wrestle women now. 3 stages of hell has been added to the game. It's the best it's ever been. Obviously, you just came back.
I'm not in the game.
Well, you just came back, so give us your match without you, I suppose, in terms of what would you do with 2K?
Well, maybe we can create a player. They still have that.
Yeah,
We can create
right?
me.
Of
Maybe I'm
course.
downloadable eventually. Let's be positive.
Sure, right?
What about, is Brandy in the game?
I think you'd have to create the
It could be
brand.
me and Chelsea versus you and Brandy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is
What
it
do you think?
what's the difference between mixed tag and intergender? Which can the men?
I think intergender, the men can hit the women.
Yeah, and then mixed tag, it's got that's awkward thing where the tag happens,
yeah.
and then the other one just fades away.
Yes.
Okay, so you put together this dream match. What type of match is it? How does it go? Who wins?
All right. My fantasy booking match is Chelsea Green versus you. Whoever wins has to pay for a VIP tour at Disney.
Jeez, and they're up there now.
They're up there
price-wise.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I want to do the rise, not just sitting down on the benches like you and Brandy like to do.
Closed-toed shoes.
Yeah, I'm saying
We're moving.
Yeah. No flip flops.
Yeah, I got you.
And we gotta go all the rides, all the hits. You versus Chelsea. Whoever wins pays for the VIP tour.
What type of match?
Ooh, could we do a ladder match?
Okay, ladder
match. Yeah,
And you think Chelsea climbing the ladder is going to climb the ladder?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know I'm not in the game yet, but when I'm in, I'll come. If you're up there, I'll shove you over. Then
Okay.
put her on my shoulders and walk her up.
Savage list style. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We'll deal on an actual. I think we can make a full
Okay,
bet
yeah, let's
about
do
it.
it, yeah.
That's for real.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy you mentioned that because I actually get to give you the news.
What's the news?
Again, you're booking this segment as a fantasy booker, and you're talking about not being in the game, which is because you just came back.
I just came back, right?
Not to be contentious, but actually, 2K has allowed me to be the one to tell you will be downloadable content.
Well, that's
the latest WWE 2K.
Oh, thank you,
There
Cody.
it is. There it is.
Thank you.
As Matt Cardona.
That's pretty damn cool. I think we've all talked about it. T-shirt, action figure, video game. You get those three, you made it.
Okay, that's
A
great.
stiff handshake.
Yeah, I'm getting old, dude. Yeah, I wear glasses now.
You lie about your age, don't you?
Huh?
Don't you still lie about your age?
How would I
or
lie
no?
about my age? You lie about your height.
No, BS.
Bro, the one time I went to the park with you and you had those new shoes on, I'm not going to say their names, that were on Instagram. They give you the extra inch, and and every photo leaned forward. The cutoffs.
You're the one who goes like with a sleeveless shirt oiled up.
I've never oiled up. No,
You've never gone sleeveless?
I have gone sleeveless.
Yeah.
Sleeveless hoodie. Yes, I have.
Okay, you never. I don't want to get noticed, guys. I don't want to get noticed. American Nightmare jacket, American Nightmare hat.
That's not.
They're laughing because they know it's true.
We did a shoot recently. Oh
I don't
well.
want to get noticed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We mentioned it on your sheet of my notes here. Crumbs make crumb cake.
That's right.
You know that
A little
game.
bit of this, a little bit of that.
You know,
adds up together. You know.
And is that why you're never one to buy the drinks when people go out? Is that
that's a? Can I curse? It's a lie, Cody. You know it's a lie. It's bullshit.
That one gets
I
you,
actually hate when people pay for me.
Yeah?
I hate it. Like if you ever offer for dinner, I hate it.
I don't think I've got that sentiment from you. You're about 35 Wizard Brews behind, bro.
But with Wizard Brew, you gotta have the fire whiskey at the bar. You
Have it
can't-
right there.
Yeah, you can't walk away with it.
This is a deep cut about you have to have the fire whiskey
Yeah,
there.
you can't have the two drinks.
You can't have
walk
two.
away
You
with
can't
the
be
two
walking
drinks.
around with two.
You get the double
Yeah.
fire whiskey.
And that's where things go.
That's where things can go.
That's where things can go. Yeah. My gosh, I'm so excited to have you back.
I'm excited to be back.
Yeah. Well,
It's been a while.
I
There were
believe.
certainly times where I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
And then
remember?
you and KO buried me for wanting to come back. Remember that?
Well, I asked KO a question that then led to that
I'm
moment.
just busting
I take
your
full.
balls.
No.
You
I
certainly
take.
didn't like defend me at all.
Yeah,
you just laughed.
You've hit it 4 or 5 times already, so I got it. I chuckled, and I was with my friend
it's all
Kevin. Let me ask you this: You come back. Who calls you? Who's the person who puts in the call?
Man, we peeling back the curtain here. Mm-hmm. So it actually
Unless you don't
starts-
want to, we can. Yeah.
That's fine with me. I'll do the condensed version. So I'm working for TNA, but not technically like under contract.
Yeah.
And TNA does the invasion of NXT,
Yeah.
and they asked to have me. And I know I'm not under contract, but I'm like, I'm gonna sneak in. Sure, I'll do it. Do that. Leads to a match, and Chelsea was doing, I guess, media for Rumble in Saudi,
Always doing media.
and Nick Khan was there.
Okay.
And she said to Nick, like, something like, "Did you see my husband wrestle at NXT?" And Nick said something like, "I've always wanted to, meet your husband, talk to your husband, give him my number." So
Okay.
she gave me Nick Khan's number. You know, I'm texting immediately.
Right away.
And then Nick called me right there. Said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to come back."
Yeah.
And the ball kind of got rolling from there.
Now that you're back, and that's thank you for sharing.
I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs, but we'd be here for
no, but
hours discussing.
you that sometimes throughout flirting with it many times.
Yeah.
And then getting here where you're back. I believe 2019. Again, these are real notes in terms of the last title you held in WWE.
2019, yeah.
Yeah. So 2019. What is it that you want to do next?
Man, fortunate to be tag team champion twice.
Yeah.
U.S. champ, IC champ. I believe you were in the match, so technically I beat you. Mania.
WrestleMania.
But yeah, I mean,
WrestleMania.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to be the WWE champ. That's the title. I think you and I are alike. We didn't just want to be wrestlers. We didn't just want to be WWE superstars. We want to be the WWE champion. So why not swing for it?
No, and I think putting that out there is ultimately like that's part of this whole process.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal ever since I was a little kid.
Down.
And, when I got fired, when I got released, like, it wasn't, how am I going to get back there? Of course, it's always in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But every day, like, I list, like, my goals in my head. And that number one goal is be WWE champion. You can't be the WWE champion unless you're in WWE.
Sure.
So I had to get back there.
I like that. Yeah. Well, here's to the goals.
Yeah.
Here's to the goals. Question for you. I don't know if you remember this. That is good. Thank you
This
again.
is very good as well. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you again, Wheatley American Vodka. you get released from WWE, and you called me.
I did.
And do you remember? It's just a funny moment in the call. I don't think you remember it, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It wasn't a call I was expecting. I think I was at the Nightmare Factory or whatever. It happens. You called me and told me, and I didn't say anything. Like I kind of just like lingered upon you telling me. And do you remember what you said?
I do not.
You go, got to say something. And I like, it was so jarring because that was a day that a lot of releases were happening and stuff like that. This episode is brought to you by WWE 2K26. You want to talk about legacy? You want to talk about the moments that define your life? That's what WWE 2K26 is all about. In this game, the show never stops. You want to talk about history? WWE 2K26 has the biggest roster ever assembled. Over 400 playable WWE superstars and legends, from the rebellious heart of the Attitude Era to the undeniable champions of today. You want to talk about action? WWE 2K26 has brand new match types like I Quit, Inferno, and the 3 stages of Hell match. Stack tables, break the rules, and embrace the unexpected. You've got the power to turn up the heat in every single corner of the ring. Control your universe, craft your legacy, show the world what you're made of. WWE 2K26 is available now on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and Nintendo Switch 2. Now we've talked about the call, coming back, you're here, of course. You, more than a great many of people, clearly you deserve to be here. You deserve this moment and the moments that are coming to you.
Sure.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you did get released in terms of, did you have a plan? I think a lot of people look at you because of how well you promoted yourself, how high production values, which we'll talk about, that you put into your work. Did you have a plan? Because it looked like you did, or did you not?
Did not have a plan.
Right.
So when I got released, it was the very beginning of the pandemic. There was nowhere else to really work. There was no independence to work.
Yeah.
The world was shut down. Also, the year prior, I don't want to say everybody in WWE, but everyone I knew got offered 5-year new deals, and I didn't take it because I didn't know if I wanted to stay or go, because my career had a lot of highs and lows, like as everybody's does. So I wasn't sure. And the anxiety for that whole year, like, am I going to stay? Am I going to go? Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? When I got fired, it was like they made the decision for me.
Yeah.
It was like this instant weight off my shoulders, and like I needed to get fired. I needed to go out there and find who was Matt Cardona. Like, the Zack Ryder guy, it was great. You know, I'm so grateful for it. The woo-woo-woo, it was awesome. But it had to change, and it wasn't going to change in that WWE environment. So I had to get let go. But yeah, no real plan, because like I said, like there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's no indies.
I applaud, because I feel like, and I would not usually put this guy over on this podcast, but I will here. Drew McIntyre is somebody who left or was released and found his way, and then started finding, ooh, I can make noise.
Yes.
I can bang the drum loud enough that my friends at WWE, at the higher ups, are looking, oh, he's doing it.
Right.
Something that I was very impressed with is you invested. Again, like a classic, invest in yourself. But when you're, what's it called? The Ecto Cooler? when you're
Ecto One,
Ecto One, when you're driving in a Ecto One Ghostbusters official vehicle into independent shows where they didn't even know how to get a car in the parking lot, for that matter. And then you're working with promoters, you're working with promotions like GCW. You're trying to give these big visuals and this high production value, which works because that's the character you are. You've been at WWE, but also it's a little bit of a nudge. You guys could use this too. It's not that, don't try and be too cool for school, guys.
Right.
Go big. I thought it was really incredible, and I thought you took what Drew had done, a little bit of what I had done, and I think you made it very, very much a different blueprint and a different bar.
I appreciate that. And I certainly stole from you. I stole from Drew, but I added my own flavor. And I was the WWE guy in the indies.
Yeah.
And I was going to make people hate me for being the WWE guy.
Right.
You know, so I win the GCW world title in this death match, call myself the death match king.
Yeah.
I only had one death match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people to this day at autograph signings, oh, I love all those death matches. I did one.
You did the one.
You know, but I took that title, I made it a spinner.
Yeah.
I made it Velcro. I called it the GCW universe. If you're going to hate me for being a WWE guy, you're going to really hate me for being a WWE guy. And I treated every big show like it was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not treating it like WrestleMania, then why am I even doing it? You know?
Sure. I wanted to ask about you're going into this match with Nick Gage.
Yep.
And it's an iconic shot that everyone who works in a wrestling company that makes money from men and women falling down in a ring saw a clip.
Yeah.
Saw whether it was you walking to the ring in one of the most contentious moments or saw you getting pelted with beer cans and all kinds of things after. Were you nervous? And this is my thought. We don't have to talk about companies or this person you wrestled specifically, but what you were doing was not your forte.
No.
What you were doing was a death match, and we look it up, folks.
Yeah.
It's what you were doing was that. Were you nervous? Because I always found you to be a bit of a skittish.
Yeah.
That you were an old school type wrestler. Skittish is not the word. We're not supposed to really hurt each other.
Right.
We got to do it again tomorrow night.
Yep,
Now it should look like we do, you know, like the Bret Hart thought of make this look amazing, but we need to do it every night.
Still late in a little bit. I'm a little snug.
Obviously, I know you're, and Chelsea has reiterated that not snug, but rather considered rather stiff. Were you nervous going in, and what are your thoughts pre Nick Gage death match and post? Because this is a point where you got everyone's attention.
Yes. So this is a couple months into my indie run. Who is Matt Cardona? I didn't even know. I knew, am I just Zack Ryder with my own name? That sucks.
Right.
Right. I needed to find myself. I thought about like, people are going to want to see Zack Ryder get carved up by Nick Gage.
Yes.
And I knew it would create buzz, but I did not anticipate the amount of buzz it would create. Like it changed my career, it changed my life. Like social media, it's a big deal. I'm the internet champ, right? But like that night, it trended #1, that match over the Olympics and like an independent wrestling show in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Because people, whether they bought or they wanted to just read about it or see it on Twitter, they wanted to see.
Had to look and see what you were doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I won, oh man. And it was, I didn't dip my toe in it. I did a cannonball into that death match. It wasn't a street fight. There was the pizza cutters, the glass, the light tubes. Like if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. And I knew I'd get a little bloody, so I wore like all white, like a white t-shirt. But that white shirt was maroon afterwards, just covered in blood.
After it, would you do one ever again?
I'm not saying I would never do it again.
Great, yeah.
But like the circumstances need to be right. The opponent, the story, the money.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Crumbs make crumb cake, right?
That's right.
I got that on my
notes.
notes.
Show friends, show business.
Okay, I asked this like because you said something.
Yeah.
There was a story.
Yes.
There's such an argument online about the spots, the storytelling, cinema versus, and I don't think people realize it's both.
It's everything.
And when it's everything, it works. And here's the story: I remember there was a tag match that followed me one time. I had wrestled Ethan Page.
Yep.
And I thought we did a great job. And we had a crowd that was already a little contentious, and I was getting boos and things were happening. But I knew we killed it.
Right.
But then there was a match that followed us, and 6 people on X liked it, and it was indulgent. There was no story to it. It didn't. They worked super hard.
Sure.
It wasn't a matter of not working, but if you're gonna do the death match, as we're talking about here, and we don't have to circle this forever, if there's not a story, then it's just indulgent. If that makes
sense. Someone up with a light tube.
It's 100%.
That, yes.
And that's why I kind of have liked the ones that I've seen, and yours is one that if you see yours, you may not need to see others. Like to have a story going into it. Afterwards, though, this happens. There's photos of the hotel, the bed, all that. Would you say you didn't regret it, right?
Not one day goes by where I regret it. Instantly, in the moment, I knew this is going to change my career.
Okay,
100%.
Yeah, and it did.
It did. I don't think I'd be sitting here if it wasn't for that match.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be back in WWE if it wasn't for that match and everything I did on the Indies, specifically GCW.
Let me ask you a question, because I asked Kevin this question before that happened. I was trying to go somewhere else. God bless my boy Kevin. Who do you think right now is out there who is kind of the face of the independent scene? Because I think you stayed a year longer than I anticipated you to stay. If that makes any sense.
I stayed 4 years longer than I anticipated.
Okay, like you fill a block. Oh my gosh, look at what they're doing. And then it's like, okay, He's coming home.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. All right. He's still doing it. Right. And then you found new layers.
You had
to it
to. And that was the toughest part every single year. How do I top last year? How do I, if you're making the towns, how do you come back? How do you get the promoter to still want to pay for you? How do you still get the fans still want to get your 8x10, your t-shirt, your meet and greet? So you had to keep reinventing. And it was tough, but it was so much fun. I love the hustle. That's one thing I miss about the WWE. I don't get to carry my merch bags. There's no merch bags. So that's the one thing I miss.
You told me something about the hustle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll like me sharing this. It'll probably fall into the Cody Lie category, but it's not. You said that you love the feeling of taking cash and putting it in your fanny pack. You said it was orgasmic.
True. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Okay.
Because like meeting those fans at these conventions or before the show, I wouldn't yell at the other wrestlers who were going over their matches beforehand, but I was like, guys, it's not about, it's about this money, but it's about making the connection with this
100%.
audience, right? Like you're making this face-to-face interaction, you're selling whatever, you're talking to them, you're taking a picture, like they might remember that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And then I'm a heel, blah, blah, blah. That's a cop-out, right? You just know no one
One of the
wants to meet
biggest
you.
cop-outs.
Why don't you just be an absolute asshole? Don't sell a thing, and then when you come out through the curtain, they'll boo you even louder.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Well, again, like story, this confusion about what it all is, and you said it best, it's everything. Connection, if I didn't know someone and I met them at the table, and I'm waiting for that guy, but I met this guy, I now have someone I am rooting for.
Absolutely.
Or, man, this guy, I don't like him one bit. I now have someone I'm rooting against. It's the same thing when today wrestling, and I've seen this at the Nightmare Factory. I'm sure you've seen this. Everyone can do everything, it seems like.
Sure.
Oh, what move?
And they're just getting better and better.
The athletics were better athletes, better skills. The high spots are through the roof. But when I say something, I never mean it in that heavy-handed, like, well, how's your promo? But to me, I always tell the kids at the factory, I said, that's the ticket to a career now.
Yes.
If you can talk in a way, not a fake sales pitch, if you can talk in a way that they are interested. I like him.
Yep.
That like classic old school booker, name him, whoever it was, that's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah, like, this one does some cool stuff too, but that's my guy. There's a connection to it. And I feel like that's something that has been very hard to say. And you know how everything is so polarizing now. You're either on one side of the fence. It's crazy when you sit in the middle and like, no, this is like Javon. Javon right now has got a reinventive style.
Right.
But getting to know Javon makes you even more excited about the reinvented style. Getting to know Javon gets you more excited about the dumb thing he's going to do because now you have a hope that I hope he hits it.
Yep.
I hope it don't. Oh man, versus again indulgence and just doing it for the sake of doing it. I feel very on a high horse over all this, and I'm not trying to be, but because like the old time guys are like, well, it's not about the 5 stars. They make it so contentious right out of the gate. It's not. It's everything. If that makes any sense.
I tell people on the indies all the time when they ask me for advice, like I say, like Hogan Rock WrestleMania 18, one of my favorite matches of all time, if not, arguably one of the greatest. If you just took 2 random indie wrestlers to do that match move for move, it would suck because it's not about the moves.
Yeah,
it's about the connection those guys had with the audience, the story that match was telling. It's not moves are great. It's so much more than just moves, and people might hate me for saying that. Maybe I don't have so many moves. But.
I heard somebody say, well, if you watch it with the sound off, it's not any good. And I wanted to be like, and excuse my language, who the is watching it with the sound off? You know what I'm saying? Talking about the face of the indies, you having stayed a bit longer than I thought, do you have someone that you're looking at right now? I have one that I just found.
Okay.
I don't know enough.
All right. Well, can I say mine?
Yes,
okay,
go ahead.
So
You're our guest.
I have 2.
Yeah.
And I've seen these guys all over the place, and I think effort is very important to me.
Huge.
Who is trying?
Effort shaming, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who's trying on social media?
Tommy Invincible.
Well, Tommy Invincible's great, but that's not one of my picks.
Okay, that's not your pick.
Because I feel like, and I would say this to guys and girls in the news all the time.
Yeah.
Too, if you want to put your phone away for the week, WWE is going to post about you. Netflix, WWE Shop, ESPN, blah blah blah. Wheatley, right? If when I was on the Indies, I didn't post about me, who's going to do it?
Sure.
So I would say Ben Bishop and Richard Holiday are my 2 guys.
Okay, Richard Holiday.
Who post a lot, who advance their stories, who will do the cell phone promo that nobody wants to do, right? Can you send me this promo? No one wants to do that, but you have to.
So both those guys,
yes.
Ben
Ben Bishop
and Richard Holiday.
Are my two guys. There's many other guys and girls out there.
Yeah.
But they're the two that come to mind.
It was actually Andrew Schultz when I was doing Street Fighter, was the one who told me about Tommy Invincible.
Okay.
And I watched him, who clearly looks like he's stolen a lot of your playbook.
Well, I love Tommy.
I need to look at these two guys. Here's my question for you though. Are you selling to guys? I don't know enough.
Sure.
I've gone full corporate.
Sure.
I'm in my own bble now.
Sure.
Like I'll even put my glasses on for
Put it on.
So
Corporate Cody.
Here I am. Are they good though? Like are they good in terms of, because I think the moves do matter a little bit.
I think they're good. I think they're perfect WWE superstars.
Okay. Does that mean though, I don't want to see a rear chin lock in 2026?
You don't like holds, right?
I love a hold because the point of a hold is not to rest.
Right.
When I hear like
the rest hold.
When I hear like a 20-year-old like, oh, he's got him in a rest hold. Or I heard Matt Cox earlier say that Bobby Eaton no-sold something. And I said, let's stop.
Yeah.
Bobby Eaton never did anything wrong in his life. He's Bobby Eaton. But the point of a hold is so that the crowd catches up.
Sure.
And
digest everything
and starts to come for the person that they want to. Are the point of a hold is to hang on to that heat. That's not happening for your guy yet. To get the crowd, because they are the other man in the ring.
Absolutely, 100%.
The other person in the ring to get by. That's the point of a hold. However, in the 90s, some of my heroes ruined holds by throwing on that rear chin and just looking out. Look at her.
Yeah.
Turn this way. Look at that chick. So that's a Nightmare Factory rule, no rear chins, unless you're over 50 is the joke.
Okay.
And we have one guy who's over 50.
Okay.
He puts it on.
Yeah. And it's fine.
There's a cravat isn't that much different.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not a big cravat guy.
Yeah,
it's hard to put on the cravat.
What was I asking you about? And they've gone into this rest hold.
Are they good, you said?
Are they good?
I think so.
All right.
I've wrestled them both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And their future, you think, are you helpful to those? It's hard to be in the position you're in and the position you're in now. It's hard when you see people you want to help.
Yep.
They need to help themselves first.
Sure.
But do you feel you're helpful as a buddy, or is it, hey?
Anytime someone asks for advice, I give it. Or if there's something I can do, I give it. The one piece of advice I give everybody is it's easy, but the advice is easy.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Of course.
You might make it if you don't quit. You definitely won't make it if you do. And that's the advice that I would tell myself every day in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, these past five and a half years.
Yeah. Did you ever verbally say it? Don't quit?
Don't quit.
That's a strong image, man. Thinking of what you were doing.
Because there were so many times I'm thinking like, what else do I have to do?
Yeah.
To get back here. Like, I was with SDL for a while, Steph DeLander.
Yeah.
Remember her? And I would call her up.
She came to a meet and greet with Stardust one time, right?
I think she did.
Yeah.
He's great. But when Chelsea left, I knew I needed a new ballet. And I'm like, okay, let me get someone different in my life, a heater, someone who's tall, who can beat somebody up. And at one point, I'm like, you need to get away from me because you're not getting a WWE with me. Like I'm like, stay away. Because I'm like, I'm not getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you consider yourself toxic.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, if I'm not getting back now, I ain't getting back. So get away from me because I'm not your meal ticket.
They don't really make them like you anymore in a sense that there are a few left. And I'm not saying it's cyclical, the industry.
Sure.
So things come back and policy change and protocol change. But you coined a term to me one time that I loved. You said, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go tan. I'm going to be there early. I'm going to be well dressed.
Yep.
I'm not going to leave at the middle of the show. God forbid, I'm not going to leave at the beginning of the show. I watched the other day. I watched the walk right by me.
Yeah.
Where are you going? What if someone gets hurt?
At least sneak out.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm almost not mad at you leaving early.
Yeah.
You're blatantly doing it. Bags by Gorilla. While the last two matches go in, that's a classic.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, sure.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
But I won't be, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
but
just making room in the locker room.
Just right in front of me. And then you ask, like, well, are the same guys on WrestleMania? I'll tell you why. That's part of it. Anyways, where were we on? I said, no, but all these things, when I brought them up to you, you're like, that's crazy. That's crazy that such and such doesn't want to do that appearance. That's crazy that.
Yeah, before I came back, you were telling me some things. Like, people like say no to things?
I couldn't.
Like,
well, it's just a different, and again, everyone has to adjust.
Sure.
Different
era.
Creature comforts, different era. I'm not right, but I think the way I was trained and brought up, I value that more. Like, oh, it's cool to put in effort. I'm not going to wear sweatpants on a run-in.
Right.
you know, which I might have worn sweatpants on a run.
They probably had the logo on it.
Of course, though, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
branding.
Yeah, like and I thought about that. And now that you're plugged into the system, do you feel a responsibility to be more of that? Or are you trying to adjust to what WWE is now?
No, I'm definitely going to be myself and control what I can control. I mean, it's been said to death, but that's all we can really do at this point, right? Especially someone like me. You come in here, like I knew coming back to WWE, like I cannot hit a home run if I'm not in the game.
Yeah.
If I'm not even on the team. I just need to get back because I can't, like I said, I can't be WWE champion if I'm not in WWE.
Sure.
So now that I'm here, I'm going to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, you know, let's say 1 week I'm not doing much, I'm still going to show up like I'm in the main event.
Sure.
Dressed to impress, so to speak.
Yeah.
Have brand new gear or nice looking gear.
Yeah.
Good physique, good tan. Control what I can control. That's it.
Bobby Roode and I would talk about you. Shout out to Bobby Roode, by the way, because he was watching you do your run-in practice, and we were giggling. He was always saying, like, he's always ready.
Yeah.
Cena too. Like, he's in shape, and that became a thing. I went on a rant one time. We went off the circle it too long with LA Knight about, well, how do you feel about guys who don't go to the gym? And we had strong feelings about it.
Let's not talk. I mean,
But then I realized I'm like, it is a different era.
Yeah.
It really is. And I want to kind of know, like, okay, what's the new thing? Like, why not? Is it because you've seen this, or
Sure.
I don't know, or is it you do it but you don't want people to know? Because I think a problem with you and I as we speak is we're letting everyone know. Oh, here's all the things I did. Here's all the things, and I think that's kind of nerdy in its own self.
Yes,
like we get it, bro. You know, like I had. My story time stamped yesterday. I was in 2 different cities, guys.
I was like, oh man.
But that's
You got to do that.
That's my generation of, hey, not everyone knows what you're doing. Always make
I hate
it clear.
this saying, but perception is reality.
Right.
It really is. If you carry yourself like a star, you're perceived to be a star.
I think one of the coolest things about sitting with you in this moment, I've just kind of been uncovering it, is we're always looking for who we are, right? Like, you know, the glasses are funny or whatever. Like, you know, I'll try things here and there. We're always looking for who we are. And I remember Chris Van Vliet, of all people, one time asked me, are you always in character? And the way he said it, it almost hurt me because I couldn't tell. It's like, man, maybe I just can't ever escape the idea of talking about a wrestling match or thinking about, will this lean into a wrestling match? Will this help us sell tickets? To this day, it's like a haunting question. But one of the things I got out of that moment was, I think I'm more than ever aware of who I am. I haven't fully discovered it, but I think I'm aware of who I am. The coolest thing about sitting here with you now is you're explaining the process, but I don't think you need the process anymore because it seems like you know who you are. Like, you're saying all these things for hey, dress for success.
Right.
Perception is reality. You're saying all the things we were brought up on, but I don't think you realize it's just who you are now.
Yeah, I definitely think
It's like, it's not performative anymore.
It's not. Right. Like,
sure. You came here and this is you now.
Right.
Dude, that's
like going to the gym later after this. Like, it's part of the day.
It's part of the job.
It's like going to the bathroom, going to the gym.
And you're saying it now, so
I mean, but that's it.
No, but it's real. And I think a lot of people will say stuff to me talking about, I remember this was a problem I had when I was away from WWE. They're like, oh, you're always trying to look better than everybody. And I never meant it that way.
Yes.
No, this feels like me.
Well, the best version of yourself.
Right.
It's not your fault that someone's not,
I don't
dressing, a certain way.
Again, like, mediocrity loves company.
Right.
And what's so strange about saying, like, Timothy Chalamet was on this podcast and he's famous for the pursuit of excellence.
Yes.
Like, it's not strange to pursue excellence. And I feel like, I hope people know when they see you that it's just you now. Like, yes, we keep track of it. And that's part of the daily life of a wrestler who grew up in our era of OVW and Deep South. In our era of that was all about, we got to do all these things. But now they're who we are. And I think if anything, I have thought it gave me an edge over the competition, because when I put stuff out about, hey, here's all I did, or here's what I'm doing today, here's what I'm doing tomorrow, part of it is a little bit of a middle finger to the others.
It should be. It should light a fire up.
Part of it is a little bit of, hey, this is a lonely position, but if you wanted it, right, come and get it.
Yep.
And like Cena was like that, and it's weird that we didn't see it. but we did see it, you know, and it's just a great model. Today, we are excited to introduce a new sponsor to the show, Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They've been fighting for the people for over 35 years and have recovered over $30 billion for their clients. Not only are they one of our new sponsors, they are also the official law firm partner of WWE. And what I love most about Morgan and Morgan is that they are truly for the people. Today, they are coming in hot and want to hook up one lucky fan with 2 tickets to WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas this April 18th and 19th. In addition to the 2 tickets to WrestleMania, our friends at Morgan & Morgan will also be giving the lucky winner $2,000 to help cover their travel expenses to Las Vegas. To enter, all you have to do is text Cody42 to For the People. That's Cody42 to 484-373-6753 and follow the prompts. Don't miss out on your chance to watch WrestleMania 42 live. Just text Cody42 to For the People. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 48 contiguous United States and D.C. who are 18 and older. Sweepstakes ends March 29th, 2026. This is a paid advertisement. I want to ask you something. Do you know the full story? Do you know the full story of when I left WWE? What happened that day?
I beat you. You were Stardust and you quit.
Yes. Those are those are the notes.
Did we do like a Disney podcast, a theme park podcast? With
we
Jericho?
did one with Jericho that day.
But then I beat you on.
Yeah, but do you know the story of me and Road Dogg in that day? Do you know?
You might have told me.
It's
Tell me again.
Today,
Tell the world.
I love Road Dogg.
Sure.
He's been very good as a coach for me, right? Back then, we were all learning our new things. And he, I think, was a producer at the time. He had just become a producer. He kind of weeble-wobbled in and out of it. You and I wrestled 6, 7, 8 times. Main event, superstars. We were always happy to wrestle because it was a fresh crowd.
Absolutely.
Crowd was hot.
What an opportunity, too.
Dude, like the opportunity, not fake use of the word, a real opportunity to get the crowd excited. I see that a lot today when somebody's going out for a main event match. Like I just saw Royce Keys, formerly Will Hobbs, go do one, and I thought, man, he took advantage of that.
You got to.
He didn't just think of that as like, oh, this is a rep for no, this is a rep for you. It's a way to touch this audience. He took advantage of it the same way we did. So, but we'd gone back and forth on finishes. You would go over, I would go over, you would go over. There wasn't a method to this madness. Right. And I, to this day, love this quote because I've actually now used it. But I came up to him, I said, hey, me and Matt are wrestling, and this is like the 8th time we've wrestled in 3 months. What do you want out of this? Like, who's over? Do you know what he said?
Doesn't matter, something like that.
He goes, does it really matter? And I thought, no. And I remember I went to you, I was like, he wants you over. Yeah. Finish, 8 minutes, whatever you want to do, whatever. And I knew that does it really matter? I wasn't mad at him. I was of the thought, this moment doesn't. We're about getting this crowd excited. Yep. Our narratives are not going anywhere in terms of we're not trying to build upon something that doesn't exist. And there are certain moments in wrestling and certain psychologies and things where it's, oh, that's so wrong or that's so right. You do find yourself in those scenarios where I have now said, does it really matter?
Right.
Or might be overthinking the point here. But that was one of my favorite things, the fact that I could go to you and essentially lie and say like, oh, he said like, oh, you over with your friend. And then I knew, because I don't think I told you.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I told you that because, the talent relations guy, that's what he said to me on the way out. He's like, I'll see you next week. And I loudly said, no, you won't. and I kept going. And then I wasn't there the next week. Sami Zayn always talks about he was booked against me on the live events. And I wasn't there. And he selfishly is like, well, I had to wrestle. So it's a whole buddy. I was going through it too. But I didn't know if you knew the full how the day went. But it's funny to me that it was you.
That is funny. Absolutely.
I did all your moves. The elbow. The Wood Awakening.
Wood Awakening.
The Wood Awakening stall suplex
You got to give me the suplex. I counter.
But you land, and you always tell people you'd give them the spacing.
I need some spacing.
You need some space.
Yeah.
So I remember we did it over a ladder.
That was tricky one.
Yeah,
I didn't want to land in the
space.
ladder.
You remember when you told me to give you a minute because you asked me to power bomb you and you knocked the wind out of yourself, or I knocked the wind out
I
of
think
you?
you might have a little too snug, you know?
Yeah, Stardust with his signature power bomb. Well, speaking of the power bomb, what's your least favorite bump to take?
Least favorite bump to take. I hate chops. That's not even a bump.
Yeah.
You know?
Chop. You gotta be in the mood for chops.
Yeah, you gotta be in the mood. It's gotta be like deep in the match. Like it needs to be like a war.
Well, you know what I've now
Like taking a chop like Oh, I remember like once like Mojo like snap married me on a live event.
Dude, we should talk about
He
that.
snap married me and then like ran the ropes and chopped me in the back. I just got up, no sold it, and slapped him in the face.
Oh. Do you remember your quote about Mojo?
Let's not talk negatively about anybody
You
here.
played as much NFL football as him.
That's true, 0 games. But come on, I love Mojo. I love Dean.
Well, one of the worst matches I ever had in my life.
That was a great match.
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
One of my favorite moments ever.
Bro, busted his nose on the entrance.
It's me and Mojo against you and Adam Rose.
Oh my gosh! As
Yes.
Stardust, me
Yes.
and then Adam Rose.
He
Okay,
busted his nose.
Doing his Hype Bros entrance.
I don't know if it was on the entrance, but I think it was during his shine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to go home because of the blood, and you're hot.
I was furious.
I remember you walked off, you just smacked like this coffee cup out of some lady's hands.
It wasn't in a lady's hands. It was on like a trash can. I was because I remember it was Charlotte, and I thought like, guys, this was a major market, and I couldn't be hot at you, but that guy was like such. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I don't know him at all.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. Great.
guy.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
but I remember thinking like, again, low after low after low. These are almost like accidental at this point, that they're when it rains, it pours. With chops, you said you're not a fan of chops. What I'm not a fan of, the guys who now have the signature chop, like their chops are so much.
Right.
So you go into it without thinking, like you're thinking about that chop.
Right.
Versus there's a couple guys who have an old school skill of warming a chop up. And I didn't know that was a skill until someone did it with me recently, where they gave me one. Then the next one had more, and then the next one. Versus that first one coming across, and I thought, this is a skill.
Yes.
It's also a bit of like, hey, hit me, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit you, hit me, and so interesting on the chops. Yeah.
Listen, I can't complain about someone hitting me because I'm a little snug in there. Arn Anderson told me I was too pretty, so I had to lay it in a little bit.
Who's your favorite producer to work with?
Coming back, it's been different. So it's a whole new crop of guys. So like back in the day, it was Arn, IRS, Ricky Steamboat, right? Now it's guys that we worked. Yeah. Kenny, Hurricane,
Davari.
Petey Williams, Davari.
They're great
wild.
though.
They're awesome.
Molly.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, all really great.
So many great.
Really great group of producers, I think, especially on the few live events we get to have those moments. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring out, I know I get too much credit for it, and I'm not trying to take credit for it, but like I am slightly involved in you and Chelsea Green's
you got
connections.
I gave you and Brandy credit during my
the wedding.
vows,
bro.
My vows.
And you were red faced, getting there.
Those are good vows.
The wedding, I would say, I've told Chelsea the same. The wedding is the greatest wedding I've ever been part of.
There was a New Year's Eve party that had a wedding attached to it.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the New Year's party.
Well, you had work the next day.
I had a Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, that's. Oh man.
But the wedding was phenomenal.
What a great day. But yeah, you and Brandy. So I just moved to Orlando. This is 2017. I blew out my knee.
Yeah, I remember.
So I'm like.
Yeah, you were in your leather jacket phase too.
I always have a leather jacket.
Yeah, but this was like you were really pushing it on everyone.
It was the winter time.
I felt like it was 100 degrees out.
It was January.
Okay.
And then you guys were working for TNA.
Yep.
In Universal. We met up at was it Cowfish?
Cowfish, Bargucci.
Which has kind of gone downhill.
I don't know if we have to touch that. I like Cowfish though.
Cowfish, just step it up. It used to be like the spot.
I like Cowfish. I'm not knocking Cowfish.
I'm not knocking Cowfish.
Bargucci?
It used to be a lot better. We agree on that?
But I would say your standards are very high.
Absolutely.
You have very high standards. And whereas for me, like, people were like, the food at Toothsome's. Bro, it's chocolate.
Sure. All right, well, speaking of high standards.
Okay, go ahead.
You and Brandy were telling me about this girl, TNA, who was complaining about being single. I'm like, I don't want to date a wrestler. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we go on one date, we go on 2 dates. Her toothbrush is She's at my house. Now she's living with me. Now we have a brand new house, 3 dogs.
A wonderful life.
It's great. But yeah, you and Brandy definitely started that whole thing. I got to give you credit for that.
I think the highlight of the wedding for me was we had a production rehearsal, which was just you going, or it was wedding planner, actually. It was going, hey, they're going to pop up over here behind the DJ booth, act like you don't know where they're at.
Did we rehearse that?
Well, no, she just told us.
Okay.
So me and Miz were doing this.
Yeah.
And then you popped up with a cryo.
That's right, because it was a nightclub. It was a nightclub turned into a wedding venue.
Well, you had a vein in your head, and you were blasting this thing.
This is how we do it by Montel Jordan was playing. Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly was. I remember just looking at your face thinking,
great. What a moment.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I have a question that's probably not a podcast question, but one of the men in the groom party sat next to me at the rehearsal dinner and had commentary on everything and ripped it to shreds.
Okay.
And he was my favorite. He saved the way.
I think Anthony LaRocca is
Dude,
his name. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, he's a degenerate.
Nobody was safe.
He's great.
Everybody who came up, he's like, oh, here we go. And I didn't know him. And I thought, this guy is the best.
One of my best friends. Yeah, he's the best.
Oh, man.
Classic.
There's a lot about your wedding that we probably shouldn't touch. I remember, just because there's so many stories, but I remember looking out on the crowd from the party.
Yeah.
You see more when you're up there. You're not,
Yeah.
And everyone's in their nice clothes.
Hey,
suits.
I know where this is going.
And then there's Gallows.
That's exactly drinking the Vegas.
And he has the giant Vegas drink. And he's wearing a chrome silver, he looks like the guy who used to be in the front row, windbreaker. He's wearing that and he's just slurping it. It's like a movie. And I thought, what a weird.
What a great wedding. Thank you to everyone who came.
Yeah, we got socks.
Got socks.
Yeah. That was a. I still have my socks. I should have worn them today. That was an incredible wedding. I've been looking to find the best deal on concerts and sports tickets for date night, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. The NBA season is in full swing. Major League Baseball is around the corner, and right now you can get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek. WWE has WrestleMania coming up, and SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee. You can use code CODY10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CODY10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app, and the code will automatically be added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. Okay, Chelsea.
Yes.
What can you say about someone who's out there just blowing it away?
Man,
she's just cooking.
Yeah, she gets it. She knows how to maximize her minutes, whether it's a little backstage or a match.
Yeah.
She doesn't say no to anything. She does all these appearances.
I mentioned that the other day. Yeah,
you did in that meeting. But she gets it. She understands that it's way more than just what happens in that ring in between those ropes. It's everything else. It's the media. Yeah. It's the appearances. It's the autograph signings. It's the social media.
Yeah.
It's the back. It's everything wrapped into one.
And I think too, this is something I discovered watching her. It's the content within. So people think sometimes you're just checking a box, doing all these things. And they don't realize it's the content within. So if I couldn't get what I wanted out in an interview, I now have another platform. Oh, I can slide it in there. In terms of content, an actual thing, versus just the classic, I did it.
I think if you love wrestling, you just can't stop, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to throw in the towel. It's a lot harder to quit because all you know, right? All you love.
Well, I think too, there's a natural talent for it, right? And you both have this natural talent for storytelling, and it breaks your heart more, and it makes you happy more because you care so much.
The highs are higher, the lows are lower.
Exactly.
100%. Yes.
Yes, you care so much. But I also think that I have seen people who I thought, yeah, no way, or I don't know, and the next thing you know, nope, totally makes sense. You learn something new every week, and some are slow learners. I always considered myself a very slow learner. just now putting this stuff into effect that I probably could have learned. Oh, I was in the ring with Hunter. I was in the ring with Cena. I was in the ring. And then finally being able to apply it this late. I think when given the time, which you have to give yourself the time because you have to stay in the game, it's incredible. But this is my question. You guys are, how's this working overseas? Are you getting 2 rooms? Or is there 1 room?
We're sharing a room.
So you don't tell the company to get you 2 rooms?
We probably should.
Yes, 100%.
Because Chelsea does not.
There he is.
We have different schemes.
I saw y'all. I was making a joke and I got caught in the
so like Chelsea,
the crossfire.
You know, after my debut, my re-debut, so to speak, against Kit.
Yeah.
You invite me to the bus, have a little celebratory old fashioned.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy. I finally made it back to WWE. It's been almost 6 years.
Huge.
I'm like halfway through. Matt, get out of here. We gotta go. Like
didn't come on the bus.
Didn't even come on the bus.
Yelled from the door. That's how I knew. Like
I had to chug my old fashioned. Like
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy a drink with my friend. You know?
Yeah, no, and that's going to be an adjustment, basically.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, you should tell the company always get you 2 rooms.
So like
You're both
at
2
night,
wrestlers.
I need to tan.
Yeah.
She needs to tan my back.
Yeah.
Like I could do it by myself, but if she's there, it's a lot easier.
They're your partners. Is there something you do for her?
Well,
you know, like you
at home I do the dishes. You know.
Okay, yeah, but
there's on
your
the road,
partners in this.
Yeah. On the road, there's not much I can do for her.
Are you excited to be back on the road with each other? It seems like
we see each other a lot more now.
Yeah, of course.
When I was on the Indies, we barely saw each other because she was so busy with WWE, and then I was busy doing my thing. So now we see each other. We're busy together, which is nice.
And you have 3 dogs.
3 dogs, 3 cats.
3 cats.
Yeah.
I remember Kylo as cat 1, right?
That's cat 1, yes.
And then it just developed into now you have this menagerie of animals.
It's a zoo. Maybe a little baby one day, but not yet.
Yeah?
Hopefully one day.
A little wrestler baby?
Well, I don't know about that.
That's how it works.
We got to take the kids. I mean, you have kids now. Bring them to Disney.
Yeah, speaking of, I don't think you want to skate this issue.
What's that?
I had kids.
Yeah.
And because our times in life changed up, I get up earlier.
So do I. I get up early.
You don't.
Okay.
Because we don't go to the parks ever with each other.
Well, it's not my fault.
And then you always make this claim.
You invite me like, I'm on my way to the park. I can't just drop what I'm doing for Cody Rhodes.
You live there, dude.
Yeah, I live there, but I have plans, dude.
And here's how I know. Here's how I know it's a little bit of an aversion to children.
Okay.
I asked you on getting on Mickey and Minnie's to hold Liberty when she was really little. You held her like this. I have a photo. You held her like you.
I'd like to see the photo.
You couldn't believe that
this photo does not exist.
It's a real photo.
If it's real, put it in.
It's a real photo.
If not, we know
You're
it's a Cody
holding her
lie.
like you don't know how to hold a child or like what children need. Like they like all this stuff we're about to do.
Yeah.
And I've noticed you guys still like to do the adult park thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not about that kid life because we don't go anymore.
Cody, like I said, you don't invite me until you're there.
There was another incident that came up that I thought.
Wait, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Once I was at Halloween Horror Nights with Chelsea. You were there on an RIP tour. Didn't even invite me to go on it.
You came on the tour though for a couple moments.
I caught you.
Well, I think we caught you.
No, I caught you.
I think we caught you. Well,
I wasn't invited. It's not like I said no, I won't go, and then you caught me there. You didn't invite me.
Well, I thought it was because a group of my buddies one time they made you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, they were just kissing your butt the whole day. It was like the Cody show. I could be a part of that.
But it was the air basketball that specifically got you.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, every now and then I'll look at somebody and I'll hold my hands like this. I'll say, take a shot. And they shoot the basket. It's an air basketball. It's a thing.
It's ridiculous.
But you just weren't making any of the shots. You know, like it's not my fault that you were not making any of the shots.
You were moving the basket.
No, Craig, take a shot. Swish, baby. See, he took it. It's easy.
You were moving the basket when I would shoot.
I don't know if I was, but I've heard you tell people like he's out there playing air basketball and the Cody show and whatever. Like, you know, it's just a bunch of guys.
That was a good time.
Having a good time. Paying for drinks. You know, like
Don't start this again.
I'm just saying, you know, like it's a thing.
It is not. Don't make it a thing.
Okay, all right. Looking at WrestleMania in Vegas, looking beyond WrestleMania, do you have any immediate goals for yourself here? Obviously, we've talked about the big one and what you would say.
It's crazy to say because being back is such an accomplishment, right? But at the same time, it feels like it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, even though it is a huge deal.
Yeah.
It seems like, well, I'm supposed to be here. And I hate to use the word I deserve to be here. I think I've earned an opportunity to be back here. Sure. Right? And this is the ultimate opportunity. And I don't take that lightly. So any opportunity I get, I'm going to do my best to be always ready and knock it out of the park.
Would you ever do a tag team match with me?
Sure.
But you wouldn't wear the jacket, right?
I would rather not wear the jacket.
You have a Nightmare.
I do have a Nightmare family jacket.
Yeah, you kept yours.
One day I will sell it on eBay.
Okay, great.
No, or maybe one day I'll burn it for a story.
There you go.
You know? But I do think that, I keep saying on WWE TV and social media, I went away and I reinvented myself. I don't think the WWE universe yet has seen who I was on the indies.
Sure.
I haven't shown them who I was.
Yeah.
I wasn't this nice guy slapping hands. That's not who I was on the independents.
Right.
So when the time's right, I think you'll see that version of Matt Cardona hopefully in WWE.
I think too, like to your point about that side of you, it feels like it's naturally maybe heading that direction, but also it's a whole new version as well. There is what you got there and who that was, the complete Matt Cardona, Deathmatch King, all these things, the King of the Indies, that was one block.
Right.
And I know for me, it's like the American Nightmare, that was a block, and then it became something else, which I'm so grateful.
It evolves, It
evolves, and you're still evolving. Again, back to like the Chris Van Vliet question of like, are you always in character? The thing that I got the most out of it was, well, at least I'm comfortable with who I am more than I've ever been.
Yeah, I think for you, I would say it's the same for me. It just doesn't stop. Yeah. Like when they say cut on this and you go and you're doing whatever, you're gonna be thinking about SmackDown tomorrow or the next PLE or the next merch thing. And that's just how I'm wired too. It does not stop. So my brain's always going.
Do you we've seen a lot of retirements lately. AJ Styles retirement, John Cena. Who's the next?
Hopefully not one of us.
I don't want to see I'm not loving these retirement ceremonies.
Bro, it's crazy how time really does fly. I mean, like we met when we were 21. Right?
Yeah.
And we're 40.
Didn't like each other.
Did not like each other for
about
years.
a decade.
Yeah. It wasn't until we found out we both liked theme parks.
That was it.
Guys. Yeah.
I think too, probably one of the residual things of not liking each other was you were doing the Edgehead thing.
Yeah.
We were doing Legacy with Randy. And there was not even like, they weren't even in the same time.
No.
There was a competitive nature to how you would do things with him, how we would do things. Like we'd get a little bit more, but then you guys got to be involved in the WrestleMania match, right? So there was always this little bit of a competitiveness, and I always felt bad because a byproduct of that, like a residual byproduct, is your partner, who has been your partner in business.
Sure.
And like
collectmajor.com.
Yeah, shout out to him. Great partner, great guy, great father.
Yes.
I never liked him.
Right.
Because of that whole thing, and I never really got that moment. Like your wedding and a few other moments, I never really got that moment to kind of sit down and hash it out with him. But he's been such a big part of your career. Yeah, the retirements and things of that nature, they've really got me thinking as to what's next and who's next, and I don't want any of those. But also something that's similar to the picture, right? So
the
picture of all of us,
which I did not post, by the way.
I thought you did.
That's a Cody live that I posted that. I think Punk actually posted
I've come to find out, I actually believe it was Punk who posted the photo, which is fine because he's the one who wanted to take the photo. Yeah. So this is you, me, Daniel Bryan, Beth Phoenix, Kofi Kingston, Punk, someone else,
Evan Bourne.
Whoa, what a flash!
Yeah,
I'm getting old. Right? I don't remember. Okay, so there we are. This picture taken of, and there was what it was young guys on the varsity team. Basically, look at us, look at us. I see it again, and I looked around the other day and thought, oh, it's kind of happening again. I looked at Oba, I looked at Javon, I looked at Trick, and I started thinking, not just showing up, not just being brought up, and you're in it now.
Yep.
Which is
sink or swim, baby.
Sink or swim. And Sean seems to have developed them in such a way that I don't think any are sinking. You know, like Trick is already entertaining me. I'm already laughing at that. And you being part of that on the ground with it. Javon, there's a heart, like there's a connective tissue to that. Oba, a whole nother thing. But that's really unique to see. I hope we're good to them.
I think we will be.
I think we will be.
Because we're going to be, not that people were bad to us, it was a different time, different generation, you know?
I don't know, some were pretty bad.
Well, it's like...
Also, some who didn't have the right to be bad.
Sure, but...
Undertaker can kick you in the ass, you know? Some others are like, what the...
But I always say, like, you know, like now I could talk about my love for collecting toys, like...
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. But imagine if I went to Target on the road and got like a hardcore Holly figure and brought it into the dressing room and said, Bob, can you sign this? What would have happened?
Yeah.
Like, just think about it. Like, he would not have signed it. He would have
signed it on the side.
No, I don't think so.
After several weeks of, He would have signed it on the side.
I probably would have been kicked out of the locker room for bringing in that figure.
Were you not kicked out of the locker room for the internet title thing, or just close?
I was never kicked
Because
out.
I know Hunter said if you brought that around in my day, we'd kick your ass, right?
Something to that effect.
Okay, but that was the internet championship.
That's what I brought it out to pitch it.
Dude, so super important. And, like, I'm so very, very glad. And if I could mention anything, WWE has a massive digital department.
Yeah.
Massive. They used to not have a massive digital department. Everyone who's been on any type of ride, whether they were doing their own exclusive content, whether they're doing a vlog, the original. I remember telling this to Matt and Nick Jackson because what we would do on their show, and they put all their heart and soul into it, and I was lucky to be a part of it, and they edited and produced it. But I remember explaining, like, hey, the forefathers of all this are Colt Cabana and you. Like, because your show was a fully produced, again, invested in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to speak to, like,
What was it? It wasn't the first. It wasn't the first web show. There was like Miz and Morrison had something. I think Santino had something. But I was the first one to do it myself, film it myself, write it myself, edit it myself. I use the term fund it myself.
Of course,
I use that term loosely, but
yeah.
I did it all on my own. But that was building the connection with the audience. It was all to get. I didn't want a YouTube show.
Yeah,
I wanted the fans to connect to me. You know.
And how many episodes did it get?
100 episodes.
And a music video, is that included in the episode?
Hosky is not included in that series.
Hosky's its own thing?
Yeah. Standalone.
Okay, that's a standalone
Yeah.
piece.
Listen, I'm very proud of that YouTube. Without that, you know, I would have been released in 2011 probably. And indies were a different time then. You get released in 2011, 2012. It's not like how it is today.
Yeah.
With their social media and you can like build this buzz and build your brand.
Yeah.
I would have been dead in the water.
Does the show ever come back?
I don't think it ever. I mean, I think maybe we do like a reunion.
Right.
It never comes back like
A
weekly.
reunion would be really cool.
A reunion would be cool.
Now, especially that everyone's seen it. And I
Yeah.
feel like maybe even getting Triple H involved in the reunion a little bit.
I would
because
love that.
There's a lot of characters that were parodied and like
Yeah.
you climbing over the fence. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get over.
I think a reunion would be hot. Yeah.
I think a reunion
I'd
would be
like
very
that,
hot.
yeah.
This reminds me, and of course I should have started because this is all over the place because we have a relationship already. This reminds me of the fact that one of my last memories on my first run here was laying ass first in this ladder that had been broken on the side of the ring in, you know, AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
And I got to watch you and your dad have a moment in the ring when you won the Intercontinental
Yeah.
Championship, which that story I can't tell on this podcast because there's wrestlers who one day it'll happen.
The rehearsal day?
The rehearsal day
boy.
is the day.
That's coming out one day.
I have to save it for this book.
Yes.
But the one person, there's one I got to get a sign off on it because he don't look great.
Yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
everyone in that match was excited.
Almost everybody.
Okay, that was
There was
excited.
two who were not.
I'd say one, but fair enough in this sitting. But I got to watch that moment with you and your dad, and I remember thinking, like, I'm so happy for him. Your dad's been a big part of your journey throughout the business in terms of from the beginning. Does he introduce you to wrestling?
So, like, my earliest memories as a kid are watching wrestling. I don't remember the first match.
Yeah.
Like, every memory involves wrestling figures, going to shows, right? So my dad was always supportive. My mom too, but my dad's at my first indie show, like holding the camcorder, right? And then WrestleMania, when I win that ladder match, like Ziggler says, "Come on," and he goes, "Okay," just hops the guardrail, and he's been at so many shows that security knew who he was and didn't tackle him. Thank God. And I'm on the top of the ladder, and I look down, I see him, like, what the f is he doing down here?
Yeah.
I get down there, I hug him, big hug. He takes the WrestleMania cowboy hat, puts it on my head. I'm like, get this shit off me, you know. But like looking back, it's like the greatest moment of my career.
Sure.
You know, and then when I got fired, I was actually looking at a photo of that thinking, all right, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And everything was.
Well, I always tell people if you had a spot like that and you had a moment like that, you can get back to one.
Yes.
You know, you have your downs and you have your moments where maybe you're not putting in the work. Maybe you're not maybe it's self. You caused it. But if you ever did it, don't count that person out. Like that's the classic. If you ever want to see what a man can do, ask him what he's done already.
Right.
Same with a woman, of course. Like you see what they've done. That's a prime example. You get 80,000 people who lost their mind over you pulling.
I think it was 100,000 actually.
Well, that one, that fire marshal kicked back on that one, right? That's a great story, by the way. But yeah, no, I remember thinking that was such a cool memory and it's so nice to be part of. And your dad, what was your arena that you'd go to growing up?
Nassau Coliseum on Long Island or Madison Square Garden in Big Apple.
Yeah. And favorite was Razor Ramon one of your favorites?
Razor was definitely one of my favorites. Of course, like, you know, grew up loving Hogan and Macho, but Razor was my guy for sure.
You have that great photo where he's holding the title, right? Because he let you hold his.
Yeah, so I was at WrestleMania 10, MSG. He wins the title in a ladder match, IC title. And a couple months later, I took a photo with him, and gives me his title, right?
Yeah.
And then after I won a Mania, I found him, and we took the same photo, but he's holding my title. It's like no writer wrote that, you know, like that was real life.
And that's the good stuff.
And it's like I have both of those in my office, both those pictures.
What did you think of WCW growing up?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I was a WWE guy, New York guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched it, of course. You watched it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were getting magazines and everything like that
100%. The figures, the Galoobs. The figures weren't the best, though.
They're in terms.
Did you ever have the vibrating figures?
No,
those were horrible.
In terms of your figure like pantheon and is Greg still the Grail?
Greg the Hammer Valentine, Rhythm and Blues. Yes, he's the number one.
And and for those who don't know, it was never released.
Unreleased.
It was from the art.
Toys R Us. It's WWE magazine. I think it's like 90, 91. Rockers are on the cover. Get all the new tag teams at Toys R Us, and then Rhythm and Blues doesn't come out.
How many people were bidding for that, Greg? I've often accused you of creating the market for the Greg.
There's a few out there, but I have the one from the actual ad.
From the shot.
Yeah.
You know what's something nice that you do for me?
What's that?
You always send me stuff I would on paper say I don't want, and then I get it, and I'm like, oh.
9 times out of 10, you don't even say thanks for sending this.
No, because we're real friends. I don't need to say.
I don't even know if you get it.
Yeah, no. Like I have a dusty mold.
Yeah.
That you recently sent to me.
Yeah, prototype.
And I thought like that's so cool. I put it up right by his box and stuff. You know, that's always nice. You collect all your friends' figures.
I do not.
Not anymore?
I never did. You can never leave your friend on the pegs.
You can't leave a friend on the peg.
I don't keep
You can leave one on the peg though.
Yeah, one to show that he's made it.
Yeah.
It can't be a peg warmer.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's your current peg warmers?
Ooh, I can't.
We can bleep it out.
No, I can't bury people.
A peg
warmer is someone, if you go to Target or Walmart and there's just tons of that person. They're warming the pegs. Nobody wants to buy them. You can't leave your friend. You can't leave your friend on the pegs.
Yeah.
You leave one, so you know. Okay, he's popular as a figure.
I know my peg warmers.
I will not say it.
Yeah. But I think sometimes on the pegs, the legends, you got a young kid, they may not know. That is their introduction to them, perhaps. And also, there's tons of figures. Our partners all do a great job.
It's unbelievable. And now you got to be careful because sometimes you might see a lot of you're not a peg warmer. You're a top picks.
Oh, okay.
Where they just, because if a kid just watches WWE for the first time, they have to go get Cody. You have to be on the pegs.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be there.
Okay.
So they purposely stock you and some others.
Over-index in terms of they over-index certain
It's
figures.
literally called top picks.
Top
where
picks.
They just send top guys, you know?
My wife's store in Roswell, Pinkerton's, she went up and like through the actual system.
Yeah.
Through Mattel to get some figures.
That's
and
cool.
it's so crazy to see like Xavier Woods and Tiffany Stratton and these figures at her store. That's really nice. Behind Greg, art in thinking of Greg Valentine, your Grail. Is there another one out there you're trying to get?
No, fortunately, I have everything that I want, but there could certainly be a prototype out there that
you don't know about.
I don't even know
yet.
about. Right? Like for instance, there's a Diesel, like the head I have and the artwork, but is there a prototype that's unreleased Hasbro Diesel? Who knows if it's out there?
In terms of, do you still look at Randy Orton of all people, who you wouldn't think would be a Toyetic type? He was the one to tell me, hey, $400 or whatever it is on a pair of tights or $600. It's the best investment you'll ever make. New figure.
And I thought, be Toyetic.
Toyetic. But
that's right.
Do you think about Toyetic when you think about your gear still?
100%. Especially like on the indies when I could control everything. Literally, like I have my own toy company, collectmajor.com.
Yeah.
I would plan out.
You can put it there.
I would plan out outfits, you know, and drop the figure. Like on an indie show, for instance.
Away.
There was one show, I came out in a Jurassic Park Jeep in Jurassic Park inspired gear.
There it is.
Jurassic
it's important to note. Yeah.
Inspired.
Yeah.
But when I come out in the Jeep, there's a lower third on an indie show promoting my new figure that has been planned for months.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that stuff here, but on the indies when I had free reign, I was able to do all that stuff and always plan ahead.
I think one thing I always bumped with you a little bit on, but you liked, and I also liked, but I didn't know if I knew how to go about doing it, was you liked a little bit of inspired, a little bit of cosplay, like
sure, wink and a nod.
Wink and a nod.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
But have you discovered, because I tell people all the time, at this point, I'm like, don't cosplay. You you.
Yes.
If they're coming dressed as you, you now no longer need to dress as others.
Yes.
Do you feel you've kind of hit that point where those inspired moments are?
I think they're a thing of the past, unless something comes up. You know, like you're doing some cool stuff, like with the actual Street Fighter movie. If you did some Street Fighter official gear,
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be beneath you to be promoting the movie that you're in. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I think that's okay.
A lesson from you right
Yeah.
here and there. I wanted to ask you this. Speaking of movies, again,
Yeah.
this is going to be the most all over the map podcast
Sure.
in existence because you are a big Star Wars fan.
I am.
And we've talked about, I think I didn't consider you a big Star Wars fan, but then you have one on me.
Okay. What's that?
Galactic Star Cruiser.
That's right.
You have that on me.
Yeah.
I never went.
I went, yeah.
You went.
One of the greatest experiences ever.
Do you feel so bold as to rank the movies?
Like all the movies?
The 9 main movies, yeah. I mean, you can count the other.
I'm not going to rank them all here.
Yeah. Can you give me your top 2?
I'll give you my top 2.
Give me your top 2.
Okay. But you have to start with The New Hope. Like you can't, how can that be not your number 1? Because without that, there's nothing else.
It's not my number 1, but I agree.
Okay.
If you're looking at it from that criteria.
You're going to think I'm crazy with number 2.
What's number 2?
Force Awakens.
I don't think you're crazy.
I love it.
You're picking very similar movies.
I love it.
Like,
I do not, I'll say this, spoiler, I do not love 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Like those are my bottom 2.
You had a fit.
Fit?
You had a fit over Luke.
Oh, he threw the lightsaber?
You had a
The whole
fit.
Force Awakens ends with this moment. Rey's
Yeah.
putting out the
Top
saber.
of the
Luke
mountain,
grabs
yeah.
it. Then the next movie starts, she just throws it away.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
I'm a huge fan of Last Jedi, so I had to kind of just listen to you and hear it and let you, that fandom is very aggressive.
Yeah.
In terms of what they like.
And even Disney now is going back. They're changing Galaxy's Edge because
I heard a little old's coming in, right?
well, because enough people didn't like 7 and 8.
Well, so let's
Or 7, 8, and 9.
I don't know if
guess.
it's that so much. Do you know that Liberty doesn't know Yoda?
What are you doing as a father?
She just knows Grogu.
You don't have her watch.
It wouldn't matter to her. It's Grogu. She's
So
4.
Yoda
by the
is
way.
Grogu?
She's
in her
4.
Head? In her head?
Yeah.
In her head?
He's just another. He's
Or
old.
just another Grogu?
He's old Grogu.
Right. Oh,
Like,
that makes sense.
yeah,
Right.
like time does go on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you got to evolve.
We have a disagreement often about you like to keep things. You want Back to the Future to come back.
I think it's coming back.
Right. I want them.
Oh, because Fast and Furious did so well.
I want them ripping the ground out and new
You
stuff.
don't care. You have no sentimental.
I am ruthless.
Listen, I get it. Like Disney, I get it. It's not a museum. Change things up.
Yeah.
I get it. But you can pay respect to the history. We do that here in WWE.
Dude, put King Kong in the gold room there on Mum. There he is. I got it. It's the greatest ride of all time.
Mummy's a great ride.
Yeah, but
Mummy's a great ride.
when it's time. It's time.
When I agree when it's time, but sometimes things are timeless.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Difference between being outdated and timeless. Like I think,
Yeah,
for
but
instance,
you going to Universal and getting openly hot that the DeLorean, is that what it's called?
it's by the bush. You know, come on, you know what it's called.
It's by the bushes.
It's by the bushes.
And having to take a
Disrespectful.
picture in front of it every
Why
time.
is it by the bushes?
I mean, where else is it going to be?
Right in
Like,
the middle, front and center, photo op.
For
Paid
who?
Photo op.
For you? What about those kids who are coming to see the Minions and get banana popcorn?
That's a different area.
Yes, but I'm saying like you got to lead with stuff they like.
Oh my God.
Time does move on. I agree. Sometimes can be timeless. My guest here, Matt Cardona, he is indulging in the Wheatley American Vodka with me. I like to consider myself and Wheatley American Vodka the dream team. I ask everyone who comes on here, what is your dream team? What makes up your dream team? I'll give you a couple so you don't have to go out of your think crazy about it. We've had everything.
Sure.
We've had animals. We've had whole sports teams.
Yeah.
We've had some people who just said Survivor Series team,
Yep.
War Games team, Zombie Apocalypse. Put a number on it, whatever you want it to be. Who is on your dream team? Who's coming with you?
Dream team to do what though?
That's a great question, actually.
Are we going to theme parks?
No, I'd say dream team because something you brought up, and I didn't want to be mushy, if that's the word,
Okay.
or I didn't want to be emotional.
Okay.
But you brought up something. You said you came back to be WWE champion.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay with cameras here to tell you. I hope that happens.
Oh, thank you, bud.
But also, as your friend, I'd like to hold you to it
Yeah.
because you were very much of a hold me to it, and you were a very celebratory person in terms of I would do something and I knew this is big.
Yeah.
I just beat Brock Lesnar in Puerto Rico. This is big. And I remember you telling me you're always just there for it.
Yeah.
So I'd hope to hold you to it, and I hope that happens. A world championship, WWE championship, a world championship within WWE, I mean, the flagships of these shows. When I say your dream team in your career, as you move forward, who is essential? Like Wheatley American Vodka is to me. Who is essential for you?
So how many people we picking?
I'd say 4 or 5.
4?
Or
WWE?
You can, buddy, we've been all over the map.
I'm going to say,
okay.
If we do, let's say 5 people, I'll pick Chelsea Green.
Number 1.
Need that, number 1.
Number 1.
You know, I'll throw you in there, Cody. You know, you can politic for me. Give me a...
Get my glasses on, yeah.
Hey, we have the TNA partnership now. I'll say Brian Myers, somebody who's
Love
been
that.
with me
I can get to know him finally.
From day one.
Yeah, love that.
From NYWC to winning tag team titles to our podcast, Major Wrestling Podcast, collectmajor.com, lower third.
We'll do all of it.
Let me get since we also have the TNA partnership, little Nick Nemeth, the Wanted Man.
Oh man, okay.
The Wanted Man.
So you've got Ziggler, you've got Myers, you've got me, you've got Chelsea.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but awesome, The Miz. I'm
That's
throwing The Miz in there.
Yeah.
The Miz can do it all. Yeah. He's always there if I need to pick his brain about something, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes he won't respond to a text for a couple days. Yeah.
I consider myself one of the worst texters ever.
Yeah.
And
you're a big like leave on red guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, some people I set the profile so they know.
Yeah, like me.
Some people
like me. Yeah.
Yours does not come up as red.
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's a great team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a great team.
I don't know what this team is for exactly, but yeah, sure, I'll say
I think
that.
you probably need I'm not telling you who to put on your team, but I would have put a young guy.
Then I would say, if we're going to throw a little bonus, Kit Wilson. I always say in like 2011, 2012, the car would have been me, Miz, Morrison, Ziggler, and Kit.
Oh my gosh.
Because Kit wants it.
He would have been driving.
He would have been driving.
He would have been driving.
But he would have been carrying our bags. But he wants it. You could just tell he puts in the extra effort.
Yeah.
I've seen his PowerPoints.
Yeah.
And he goes to the gym.
Yeah.
Eats clean. I like that.
He lives it.
He's a pro wrestler.
Dude, but one thing I want to point out to you, and this is probably the most important like discovery for me today, and I hope you know this.
Yeah.
You do all the right things, right? And you know all the right things to do, and you put in the effort. But also, you do them for the right reason. It's not just like, you know how this works. It's not you get the math
advice for the sake of
right.
asking
It's
advice.
not a math problem either.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way. Sometimes like the industry is crazy.
I'm glad you take those off.
Yeah, things happen. We get lucky.
Yeah.
We things like that happen. I just hope you know that it's not just the fact that you check those boxes. It's the fact that you're very good at what you do. And it's also the fact you're great at what you do. It's the fact that you connect with the audience, which you don't do it to sell them.
No.
You don't do it to, I remember it makes me so mad when somebody, you got a fan for life. That wasn't why I did it, though. I did it because I was feeling it.
I want the fan for life, but not because I want their money for life. I want their support for life. I want them to be on the journey with me, the ups and downs for life. Like if you're a fan of Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona, you've been on one hell of a ride.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
with more to
highs
come.
and lows. With a lot more to come.
A lot more to come.
Like you were like when that GCW death match, like the amount, like there was a small portion of like Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder fans who came and they took this like, giant picture on like the New Jersey boardwalk.
Yeah.
Like
had to be fighting their way out of that room.
Oh yeah, they're in.
Oh man.
You know?
There's a jingle here. Again, we're here at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Thanks to Wheatley American Vodka. I'm going to play this for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to replace one word in it.
Okay.
Watch in Moscow always get the mule. Vodka this good is an American jewel. Wheatley so good I drink it neatly.
Wheatley so good I drink it neatly. That's our I gotcha. That's our tag there.
Yeah.
If you could replace that, Wheatley so good I drink it.
Well, Matt Cardona is the complete, so I would say I would drink it completely.
Cheers to that.
Yeah,
bro.
cheers to
Nailed
that.
it. Nailed it. One last thing from me to you. Well, two things. I love you.
I love you too, man. Hey, when are we doing a little dinner date at California Grill?
Buddy, you shame the fact that I get there and tell you You have
I mean, you're
to,
busy. You're not that busy. You can
buddy,
tell me like
I am that busy.
But you can tell me.
So when I tell
but
you,
know when you're going to be there in a week. You're not just going the day before.
trust me, it comes up. Also, Cali Grill is right there. Like you live there, dude. So yes, my expectations of you coming are a little, but like whenever.
Yeah.
When it's owed for sure.
Okay.
It's owed. But one last thing.
Yeah.
Just stay where you're at.
Oh no.
Bro, take a shot.
There we go.
Take a shot.
I'm not taking the shot. I'm not taking the shot.
Take it. I'm begging you. Switch, man. You nailed it. You finally got it.
Oh, thanks,
Points on the
buddy.
board.
Appreciate you.
Oh man.
Wow.
That on what do you want to talk about? My friend Matt Cardona. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.